can't see Ilia fighting Islam. He's only defended the belt once, and he's not that big of a star to just jump. He's not McGregor, you know what I mean? To just jump right up and fight for the other belt.
Charles Oliveira's really good, man. Really good. For him to starch him like that with essentially one punch is extraordinary.
Ну это маркетинг. Они делают это специально, чтобы разогреть этот бой. Ну, у людей уже есть интерес к этому. Значит, они делают правильно, и мы будем бороться за первое место в рейтинге.
Joe Rogan is urging the UFC to book a massive clash between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria, calling it one of the biggest fights on the horizon. While Makhachev is currently gearing up for a welterweight title bout against champion Jack Della Maddalena, Rogan believes those plans should be scrapped in favor of facing Topuria. "If I'm the matchmaker, I'm calling Islam," Rogan said. "Jack Della is a lot of fun, sure, but come on, Islam is the fight. Maybe when they call him, they ask, is there a number? Is there something we can do? Because that's the one everyone wants."
Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev is the fight I'm dying to see. They're both very similar, high-level striking and grappling. Not to mention they both have extreme power and high fight IQ. Us MMA fans want to see the best versus the best, and this is it, guys. But the question remains, who wins?
Ilia Topuria may be one of my favorite guys to watch stylistically. How he doesn't force things, not getting emotional, not pushing too hard, also not taking his foot off the gas too much. He's just right there in the middle until he lands the big knockout punch. So I think he could catch Islam, but if that fight goes anything past 15 minutes, I think Islam beats him handedly, just because Islam is a large 155er, and I don't think Ilia is that big.
Islam, the second round. I think in the division, stylistically, I honestly see Islam just like dominating all these guys. Obviously, Justin always has that knockout chance. He always has that power. And then
said that you're ready to go up a division. There's a tweet from Ilia Topuria that he can go up the weight and he can beat you with no problem. What do you think about that?
Не знаю, еще столько соперников, и все хотят меня там в первом, во втором раунде финишировать, все говорят об этом, но я же сказал, сделайте 70 килограмм, заходите в клетку. И посмотрим, кто кого.
You have two guys that are stars in the same area. It's Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre all over again. Who would have won? George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva. That debate still goes on. I look at that fight and I say Islam, but Ilia is the one that pushed for the fight. When we look back at this situation, the fact that Ilia entered the division, gave his belt up, tried to get the fight, I think it's going to create a real problem in the future when you're debating these two. And we got a source saying the same time that Islam knew he was going to go to 170, but didn't say anything.
Champion essentially supposed to look like. Make the calls, go out there, deliver on the calls. Then all of a sudden vacates the title. I mean, how do you feel? Because you said earlier, like you were looking at him and going, there's holes here.
I think it's good for the sport, to be honest with you. I mean, him and Islam, I mean, people really want to see that. Everybody has their own style, and it seems like his style is just doing what he did. Honestly, I believe Islam is just a little too much for him, but I'm also a fan, you know, so I would...
Coming up, he was like, I don't have to take this risk. I'm gonna move up to the 170. I'm gonna try to get another belt, and that's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib. The only reason they don't want me to fight against him, because they...
Islam, Makhachev, and Jack Della Maddalena, if that title fight's gonna get booked soon?
I'll let you know when we get it done.
And just kind of piggybacking off that, obviously with Ilia's win, you know, everyone's really excited to potentially see a future fight with him and Islam. I know that's the fight that people wanted. Ilia said earlier this week that if Islam loses that fight, he wouldn't give the opportunity for Islam to fight for his belt again. Is that something you'd bypass? Because that seems like such a big fight to make.
I mean, this is all talk.
Speculative.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
But I imagine that's a fight you guys would want to make at some point. I mean, just the magnitude of it.
I mean, I'd make that fight tomorrow.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Bilal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stopping takedowns, because again, there's every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, like, worried about, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, like, I guarantee you if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. Only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding him down.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's had a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. We're going to see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for, wow, that's impressive, I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
But I really think it's going to be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique. Not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops. A dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
When I interview him in the cage afterwards, I'm always like, how?
Really?
How are you 155?
Yeah.
How?
I know.
How?
I know.
He's thick as he's got a giant back.
Yeah.
And when he gets a hold of guys, it's like he's just got this leverage, this grappling squeeze that it's... I remember when he fought Drew Dober, and like when he got Dober down to the ground, I was like, that's a wrap. He's a threat everywhere. Like when he knocked out Volk with that high kick.
Yeah,
and
that was
crazy. But granted, if I was in Volk's corner, I would say, no,
I know.
You're not taking it. You've been drinking beer and eating kebabs. Like, there's no way you're taking this fight on 10 days' notice. I don't care how confident you are. I don't care how much you like fighting. That's a crazy thing. I don't care how much money they're paying you. Because you look at the slide that his career took, right? He arguably won that first fight with Islam. Very close fight. Loses a decision. Or was it a draw?
It was a decision. Shit, was it a draw? That's actually...
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that. So I don't
have any advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job in the striking. I like how he fought.
Bro, what's cracking, man? Chilling. Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally...
It's Jack Della Maddalena. I think it's we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches, because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. Well, for me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight.
It's a fantastic fight. It's a big-time fight. And if Jack Della looks the way he did last weekend, it's very, very intriguing fight, because we've never seen Islam Makhachev fight up at 170 pounds. We've never seen it. We've never seen him have to compete up 15 more pounds. Yes, he is a big dude, but in terms of full-on stature, is he big as Jack Della Maddalena is? And also, if he thought he may fight International Fight Week, How small had he gotten? And how much time does he have to put the weight back on the right way before he moves up? A lot of questions. But it's a big time fight, and we'll get into the X's and O's as we get closer. But right now, we're talking the story. We're talking the story. We're talking about a guy that just beat Bilal Muhammad to become champion, now getting challenged by a 155-pound
O
champion.
que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Isla agarrar e botar pra baixo...
It is hard to try to get like an accurate gauge on what it's going to look like, not knowing how Islam is going to look when he moves up. Okay, it's always the question everybody asks when anybody is moving up a weight division or down a weight division, okay? There's so many unknowns involved. But saying that, I think that Islam can do everything that Bilal does, but way better. Okay, way.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I've proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dip a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
You know, I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, you know, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, you know, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So, you know, Islam's a whole different animal than the Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, you know, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, you know, the weight is not super big for him either, so he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Is easier. We're stupid. We are very stupid. Then we didn't watch the Bilal fight, because Bilal can take a hell of a shot. He can take a hell of a shot, and he took him. And he gave him two. Bilal gave him two. So it was a war. That fight was a war. And you know what? For us to think it's an easy fight for us, you know, what kind of idiot coaches are we? Habib's not an idiot, and neither am I. And neither is Magomed, neither is Saif Safullah and Muhammad, the other coaches that they work with Islam. We're not dangerous, if not more dangerous in different variations. Not boxing, because I think Topuria's got the best boxing in the business. I still believe that. But Jack is well versed in the kicking and the arsenal, how he mixes it up. He's really good at head and body, leg, everything. He's really, really good at that. So we have our hands cut out for us. It's not an easy fight at all. If Islam, by some miracle of a chance, makes that fight to be like slam dunk, it's because we were properly prepared, or Jack wasn't as prepared, or Jack was injured, or Jack just got caught. But it's gonna be one of those fights. It's not easy. No way in hell is that fight gonna be easy. Very tough fight.
JDM to win. Now he's got a big challenge in his first title defense against Islam. Do you think he's got what it takes to beat an Islam Makhachev in his first defense?
People are going to say it's a wild take, but I reckon JDM smokes Islam. Shins him so bad. It's going to be so bad that the Topuria Islam thing will just be gone.
So you think Islam's wrestling won't be a threat to JDM just because he's a lot bigger?
He's a lot bigger, and like when you watch JDM, like you put him on the end of mid-range, he's just going to throw. That's hard to like shoot in on. He's not going to be able to just abuse his size against him either. I think Islam's in.
I thought he was very, very impressive.
you know, it would be awesome to see Makhachev move up and fight him. You know, I did see that Makhachev said he's not gonna relinquish his lightweight belt. So I don't know how that's gonna fly with the UFC, because I think they're putting a stop on double champs now, aren't they? But it would be a fight I would love to see. You know, that's probably one of the best super fights you could make right now, aside from, you know, obviously John Jones against Tom Aspinall, which is the block. I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or, you know, he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev, though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world, you know, on any day, you know, including Ilia Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev.
Do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed match.